It's 18 past 3, Jazz Radio 94.1 FM. And on Mother's Day, this Sunday, coming up 10 to 4 p.m. at Lionel Perry Park, West Quay Surfers Paradise, right next to our studios here at Surfers Paradise. Some of the great entertainers from around Australia, including Catherine Lambert. And Catherine is on the line. Catherine, thanks very much for joining us.
My pleasure. How are you, John?
I'm pretty good, particularly on this absolutely beautiful afternoon here on the Gold Coast, and we really hope it's going to be like this on Sunday for Mother's Day. Catherine, you're going to be performing from 3 to 4.
That's right. I think I'm probably the only, well, not the only mum working on Mother's Day, but to me it's not work anyway. I love singing. So. But what a great idea, though, the a la carte in the park and all the different fabulous restaurants around the Gold Coast, you know, being included, and cuisines from all over the world. It's a perfect opportunity if you've got a family who cannot agree on what restaurant to go to. You can go there and everyone can have the kind of food they like.
Yeah, and listen to some great music. And Catherine, absolutely. You've been, I guess you could say you're a jazz and swing singer, and you write a lot of your own music as well.
That's right. I love to write. It's nothing quite as gratifying as having a beautiful ensemble of great players sort of playing the music that you've written and singing that to an audience and having them actually like it. That's good. It's really good. So it's like the ultimate, really. Also, of course, I have enormous respect for the writings of George Gershwin and Cole Porter and Duke Ellington and all those wonderful crooners and singers from the day, and the Ellas and the Billies and the Franks and the Tonys. So my mother's a musician, so she raised me on all kinds of music. She performs mostly as a classical muso, but her taste in music is very broad. So I was raised with that and did the whole classical thing on clarinet as a youngster and in my early adult life, and was singing at the same time. And I guess I had to make a choice, really, John. So it all sort of stemmed from there. But the writing thing comes from that. I think that ability to read music and theory and harmony and orchestration that we studied at one of our special music high schools here in Adelaide.
Yeah, and not only are you a great singer and composer, but you've also appeared in the movie Lost in Translation with Bill Murray. Tell us how you got involved with that. Oh,
by the way, he is as funny as you think he might be. He's exactly, when you see a celebrity and you go, oh, I wonder what they're really like. What you see is what you get, and it's exactly what you would expect. I was very fortunate. I did a 10-week season at a very classy jazz club in Japan back in 2001, which was, it's almost 10 years ago. And I was singing 6 nights a week for 10 weeks in this very exclusive place. And it was a beautiful place. And I didn't really pay much attention to directors, because I didn't recognise many directors, but I certainly recognised the movie stars who came through on their press junkets and what have you. I mean, I had David Duchovny in the audience at one point standing up and giving me a little ovation for one of my songs, which I think is almost every girl's dream. But Sofia Coppola, the person who wrote the film, the daughter of the very famous Francis Ford Coppola, was in the audience while I was singing, and she went away and wrote the screenplay, to which she ended up winning an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay that year, which was brilliant. She wrote the thing with Bill Murray in mind, and then wanted to recreate her experience in Tokyo. So they contacted me, they tracked me down, and they said, would you like to? And I thought it was a prank call, to be honest, one of those radio prank calls. And it was for real. And over I went, and was on location in the same place. It was like revisiting home, having been there for so long previously. And we shot the film. It was very, very low budget, but extremely well received. And Scarlett Johansson was just 17 at the time, playing a 24-year-old in the film. And she was lovely. She was just a charming, intelligent, good head on her shoulders young lady. I'm sure you'd agree that of all the Hollywood young women stars, she's one of the most level-headed we have in comparison to some of our other crazies. But no, that's sort of how it came about. And some people say, oh, you were lucky. And I'm thinking, yes, absolutely, what a lucky break. But I say this to my voice students. I say a lucky break is only valuable if you're ready when you're found. So if you haven't got your skills on track and aren't working hard to improve yourself, it doesn't matter if you get seen unless you have yourself together and ready for the next challenge,
Yeah, well, maybe the next challenge in movies anyway. You went on to appear in the movie Peaches with Hugo Weaving.
Yes, it was a very odd time, John. I came back from doing all this massive amounts of singing, and then went back into that film, came back from doing that film, and I got a phone call, would I like to audition for a film with Hugo Weaving in it? And I thought, hell, is there any chance he might be at the audition? I sound like a cougar, don't I? But I went and auditioned for the part. I think the part was originally penned for Judith Lucy, who was otherwise embroiled in, I think she was doing another film, something about lawn bowls. Do you remember that one with Mick Malloy?
Yeah, that was called Crackerjack.
That's the one, yeah. I think
Great
she was.
movie.
She had been asked about her interest in the film Peaches, and then Crackerjack came up, so she went for that because it was a larger part. And they all of a sudden went, ping, let's get Catherine in. So I went and read for it, and I'm thinking, because there's no singing in the Peaches film, it's just a straight sort of, light sort of acting part. It's not musical at all. So having gone from Lost in Translation, where I had what they call a part acting part, musical part, so it was like I within my comfort zone for the singing part, and stretched a bit for the acting part, which was great because I'd done some theatre before. But and then coming back and then just doing the straight acting thing, I wasn't quite as stark a shock because I'd had a bit of that experience prior. Plus, I've done some television commercials, etc. over the years. But that was wonderful, and Hugo Weaving is just such an incredible person, and Jacqueline McKenzie was his co-star, and she's, just the most brilliant and organised actress, so that was good fun. But it felt like all of a sudden I was just doing this movie stuff, and hang on a second, I'm a singer, first and foremost, But it's great to try new things and to reach audiences in different ways, because I very much love singing live. I also really enjoy studio recording for different reasons. But then going to do a film thing, the number of people I got calls from overseas who I haven't seen in years saying, I saw you in a movie. And I'm thinking, wow, it just reaches so far. It's quite an amazing. I don't know what you probably call medium. I guess a medium for communication, film. So instead of playing to the 50s, the hundreds, or the thousands as a live venue, you're actually reaching millions.
Yeah, well, it must have been a fabulous experience. Well, we're going to meet you on Sunday at A La Carte in the Park, which is in Surfers Paradise, right here in Surfers Paradise, and right next to our studios. And it'd be great to hear you singing from some of your great repertoire of CDs and some of the music that you've written yourself.
And John, don't forget to give yourself a little wee plug. You are the MC.
Oh, well, that's true. Yes, I'll be there.
So you'll get a back. So you'll have a front row seat for the entire performance, which is wonderful.
Yeah, I'll be there with bells on, and I'll be looking forward to meeting as many of our listeners as possible. And
really, they should come and introduce themselves to you and say, I'm a big fan.
Well, I certainly hope they do. Catherine,
yes.
Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. We'll really look forward to meeting you on Sunday.
My pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you in person.
Absolutely. Well,
all right, John, all the best.
That's Catherine Lambert, who will be appearing at A La Carte in the Park here at Surfers Paradise on Mother's Day Sunday.